In Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, killing zombies gives you a pitiful amount of points. Instead, you'll want to rely on completing contracts. For example, one Tier 1 contract nets you 2,000 points, the equivalent to killing 100 regular zombies with a headshot. But with 8 different contracts to complete, which ones are easier and which ones require more effort? The easiest contract to complete is 115%. Deliver cargo. All you do is take an armored vehicle loaded with cargo out of a garage and drive it to the point marked on your map so Fang can pull a Toy Story on it. A Terminus helicopter will spawn in and chase you, but you don't even have to kill it to complete the contract. What makes this so easy is the fact that you don't actually have to kill anything. You can just open the garage door, immediately enter the armored vehicle, and drive away. As long as you don't turn the wrong way or don't sit in the helicopter's line of fire trying to refuel like a doofus, you won't fail. Next up, we have Spore control. You have to get the neutralizers from the cargo container, throw them at the spores, and shoot the spores when they turn red. You're typically given plenty of room to maneuver around, and it only spawns regular zombies, making this an easy contract to complete either solo, and if you're playing with a squad, you can hit multiple spores quickly. Just make sure to save your ammo for when the spores turn red, otherwise you'll look like a Goomba doing no damage. If you find these rankings helpful and want to see more, I'd be very appreciative if you like and subscribe. This will help you by notifying you about any new videos I drop, and it helps me tailor my content to make sure it interests you. Next one is hard to rank because it largely depends on what you have to kill, but I'm putting eliminate the bounty here. You'll have to find a high value target marked on your map and kill it so Barrera can get squeamish and tell you how icky it is. 10 out of 10 character, guys. I've only seen manglers and mimics in Tier 1, and Tier 2 adds in disciples who are extremely annoying, but they tend to get stuck in place a lot. I mean, take a look at them. Looks like they're trying to cosplay as Ghost from Ant-Man 2 making that movement. Even if the enemy spawns inside a building, you can lead it outside and fight in open spaces. Just make sure you don't get pinned by the other zombies or a surprise visit from Terminus assholes, and you should have little issue completing this contract. In 4th place, we have a classic from Outbreak and every other video game that wants to make you suffer. Escort. Like any shitty escort mission, you need to escort the ACV as it rolls around and destroys 3 ether rifts with its Metroid wave beam. When moving, zombies will chase the ACV, but can't damage it from the front, and likely won't damage it from behind unless they're a variant with a ranged attack like most special zombies. Escort can be challenging solo because a healthy number of zombies spawn to eat your battle tanks, but you can call in support such as mortars and airstrikes which won't damage the vehicle. In my experience, manglers and hellhounds like to show up and make things annoying. When you're in a squad, Escort is a lot more manageable. Solo, it can prove to be quite the nuisance. Raid Weapon Stash sees you traveling to a location and drilling through a giant safe with the world's biggest drill that one human being can use, or whatever race my boy Skeletor is. You have to stay in the same area as the safe while zombies come to tear your ass off, but unlike Escort, they won't attack the safe. Straying too far from it will cause the progress meter to go down, and you will fail if you go down or stay away for too long. The nice bonus to Raid Weapon Stash is not only do you get the usual goodies from the Ether Rift, but you also get access to guns of various qualities, usually uncommon or rare. In my opinion, the difficulty varies due to 2 variables, whether you're playing in a squad or solo, and the location that the objective is set in. A Tier 1 contract is usually in a nice area like a warehouse, but there are some locations in Tier 2 that are extremely cramped and will screw you over. But the kicker is you can't go outside those cramped buildings because you won't make any progress. If you have a sentry gun handy or have one of the more offensive special abilities equipped like Energy Mine, it'll make this objective far more manageable. In my opinion, the 3rd most difficult is the Outlast contract. It's a simple concept. Like Raid Weapon Stash, you have to stay in an area as Barrera's PND cleanses the area of the dark ether thingamajigs. In my experience, these tend to be in tighter areas that offer less wiggle room, like when you don't get the size 12 wide shoes and settle for the normal. There are also an unhealthy amount of hellhounds that get thrown your way during this contract. While you don't have to defend the PND, you do still have to stay in a certain area around it, otherwise it starts to shrink like a man in the pool. As always, this is easier to complete in a squad than solo, but with hellhound spam and the tighter corners you tend to find yourself in, this can be a tough contract. Final 2 contracts involve the Terminus mercenaries. I do have to give Treyarch credit, and they've been very receptive to community community feedback on this issue and nerfed how much damage that they do to your armor pretty quickly. Previously, 1 or 2 bullets would take out an armor plate, and when you only have 3 and bullets are being fired fast because, you know, bullets, you could get boned quickly. They're still not pushovers despite doing less damage, and a large group of them can deplete your armor and health quickly between their guns, riot shields, and grenades. The second hardest contract is ether extraction. Terminus will land 3 rockets in order to transfer Ethereum out of the map and sell them on Amazon. At least that's where my wife got hers. Your objective is to get in there and destroy the 3 rockets while contending with the mercenaries defending them. Sounds easy, right? They have guns, explosives, and big-ass shields that'll turn you into a pizza. Okay, but so what? You're a master of multiplayer and eat rust for breakfast. You also have to do it in a 3-minute period. It's very easy to get caught in a crossfire, especially solo, making this one of the most important contracts to have a squad for. Finally, we have the most brutal contract, Defend Ground Station. The first section is super easy. You activate 3 seismic gizmos for Barrera and head back to the main station to start it up and send seismic data.
This is where the fun begins.
By fun, I mean shit. Terminus mercenaries will enter the scene via helicopter and cover of smoke in order to try and blow up your computer. They will enter in all variants, regular grunts up to elites and riot shields. Some will even wield RPGs. The areas you have to defend tend to be fairly tight with multiple entrances. You can't exactly cheese the contract as easily as others. I've read that you might be able to run away and they won't spawn in, but I can't verify this myself, and it sounds like a pretty dumb idea. This contract is probably the most important that you have a squad for, because the Onslaught is not fun to deal with alone. What do you think about these rankings? What would you consider the easiest and hardest contracts? Do you hate Barrera's guts as much as I do? I'd love for you to leave your thoughts below in the comments and let me know what you'd like to see more of from this channel. I'm always happy to serve.